Hey y'all, welcome to Tax Tip Tuesday. I am Chastity Grady, and I'm the owner of Grady Tax Plus, where I help service-based business owners understand their business structure, their tax situation, and help keep their finances organized. So today, like I said, it's Tax Tip Tuesday. You know, we're preparing for the tax season. Tax season is like 5 minutes away, figuratively speaking, and I'm so excited. I was actually thinking today, I've been going live literally every Tuesday consistently for the past 6 months, giving y'all tax tips, business tips, bookkeeping tips, and I'm so thankful. So I thank you all for watching my videos. And if you are catching the replay, definitely comment hashtag replay so I know you're catching the replay. So I really appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about, you know, who is required to file a business tax return, okay? That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the types of tax returns, but I am going to talk about who's required, all right? So if you are, so let me just say this. If you are generating income, all right, if you're generating income with the intent to make money, you know, to make a profit, then guess what? Regardless of how you see yourself, you might see yourself as a little business, you know, little baby business. However you see yourself, regardless of how you see yourself, in the eyes of the IRS, okay? In the eyes of the IRS, you are a business owner, okay? You don't have to have an LLC, you don't have to have a corporation or anything like that. If you are generating income and you have an intent to make a profit, and also if you're trying to claim expenses, then guess what? You are a business owner. As a business owner, that means that you are required to file taxes for that particular business, all right? Now, depending on, if you do have a business structure or a tax structure for your business, then you're required to file certain types of forms, but nevertheless, you're still required to file a tax return, okay? And so, for example, let's talk about, the different types. So as far as like a sole proprietor, if you feel like you're not a business owner because you don't have an LLC, well, guess what? You fall into the sole proprietor category according to the IRS, all right? So you're gonna be putting your business information most likely on the Schedule C, okay? Unless you're in a different type of a business that will fall on Schedule E. But for the most part, most people are gonna fall on Schedule E, all right? I'm sorry, Schedule C, my bad. Schedule C, all right? And that gets filed with your personal tax return. With your Schedule C comes your income and expenses, which is why if you are in business to make money and you're claiming expenses, then guess what? You have to file a return. Now, what sets you apart is that if you are a hobbyist, okay, if you're only doing this, for fun, there's no intent to make a profit or anything like that, then either way, you still have to claim it. So either way, you're not exempt. You're not exempt from the income that you're making, from claiming it on the tax return. You either claim it as a business or you're claiming it as a hobby if you meet that hobby rule. And with the hobby rule, what happens is you don't get to claim any expenses with that. So, so that's why it's like you're either in business and you get the, you're in business and get the benefits of being in the business, or you're a hobbyist, but you still have to file that return as a hobbyist, but you don't get to claim any expenses when you do that, okay? Another thing, independent contractors, they're also considered sole proprietors. If you have a DBA, you're still considered a sole proprietor, and a DBA is doing business as. So if you went to your county within your state and you decided to be, for example, like Chastity Grady doing business as ABC company, that would be a DBA. And guess what? You still have the same requirements of using a Schedule C, okay? So that goes for anybody, independent contractor, even if you do Uber on the side. So you know what? There was some myths like a couple of years ago where people thought that because they did Uber or DoorDash or Lyft or any of those other companies, they thought they didn't have to do a tax, like file taxes for those, but you actually do. And it's really more important now, because now since the 1099 rules have changed for 1099K, so now they don't have those same reporting rules where you have to wait until you get that $20,000 mark or 200 transactions. Now if you make that $600 or more, you're getting a 1099. So it's going to be a huge increase in Schedule C tax returns this coming tax season. And so that's why it's important that you file it. There's no more, I'm not claiming this on my tax return because it's just Uber, or if it's, it's because it's, DoorDash, whatever. No, not this time. You don't you don't get to slip under the radar this time. So you stuck like Chuck. Another thing, so obviously if you have an LLC, then you know that you really need to file your taxes, and you're going to do that also on Schedule C or Schedule E if you're in a different type of business type that falls under Schedule E category. Now, if you're someone who has turned your LLC into an S corporation, then that's when you're able to file your business tax return separately, apart from your personal. Okay, so you don't get to put your business on a Schedule C. You use a different tax form, 1120S, and that goes for a corporation with 1120. And if you're a partnership, then you definitely don't file a Schedule C at all. You do the partnership return for 1065. Okay, so that's just a brief overview for those particular types. But like I said, nobody, especially in 2022, nobody is exempt from filing a tax return. If you're generating income, you're either going to put it on the Schedule C. If you don't have the other tax structures, you're either going to put it on Schedule C, or you're going to report it as a hobby income, and you don't get the benefit of claiming those expenses. So like I said, you're either in business or you're not. And if you're not, you're still not exempt. So that's my brief overview. And as a result of you being somebody who has to file a tax return because you are in business, in regards to whether you consider it a business or say the word business, you're still a business owner. Like I said, based off the IRS, you might not be a legal, have a legal entity, which is separate. Legal entity is a separate case, but you still file taxes if you're not a legal entity. In the eyes of the IRS, they don't care about the LLC. They don't care about any of that. If you're generating income and you're making a profit, they want to see that return. All right. And so the best way to get that return done accurately is that if you have kept up with the income and expenses that you have done throughout the year. And the only way to do that is if you have your bookkeeping in place. All right. So if you don't have your bookkeeping in place for the income and expenses to know what to claim on the tax return, then you're going to have, a tough time, all right? Especially if you don't go to a tax professional. So it's really important, especially for this upcoming tax season, to go to a tax professional and get your tax return done, especially if you've never done a Schedule C for yourself, which is not recommended, okay? Especially if you don't know what you're doing, all right? So what I want you to do, if you're somebody who was doing like Uber and Lyft and all those other side gigs, or you never claimed anything a part of your business, I want you to go through your expenses to see exactly what you spent for the year, okay? Because we already know you're going to get a 1099. You're getting a 1099 from everybody, okay? Everybody, if you made $600 or more, and I'm actually anticipating that they give you 1099s even if you made $2. That's just me, because I think Stripe, Square, I think all of them are going to be afraid of the IRS this year with that rule, and they've gone under the radar for not having to report so many 1099s to the IRS because of that $20,000 rule. They're just gonna be like, well, everybody's getting one. That's how I feel. I feel like everybody's getting a 1099. If you made $5, $3, you're getting a 1099. Okay. So it's best that because you're gonna get a 1099 for income, it's best that you gather your expenses. So start thinking about what your expenses is for the line of work, okay? For the line of work that you do, start thinking about those expenses, all right? If you need help, figuring that out, you're definitely gonna need to schedule a consult with somebody. I'm available. If you resonate with me, then you can definitely schedule a consult with me so we can go through what your, line of work is and start to reconstruct what your expenses are, because you're gonna need it. You don't want to just report income on your tax return. It has to balance out with income and expenses so that you have a better outcome. All right. So that's what I have for today's Tax Tip Tuesday. Like I said, if you need to schedule a consult with me, tax or bookkeeping consult, then definitely use my link in that safety pin. I don't know how to make it come back, but yeah, it's a little safety pin thing, whatever. And I'll leave a comment so that in the comments so you can get the link as well. So that's all I have for today, and I'll see y'all in the next one.